106.5 FM, and I am here with our long lost co-host,
I'm
Miss.
just trying to. Y'all should have saw Doug at the NAACP event. He was sharp, clean.
Clean as a whistle, huh?
Yeah, he was kind of having his little strut move.
Oh,
Yeah, Doug be faking the funk
get a little
on the
stride in
show.
his glide.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was a new Doug up there.
New Doug.
All right.
It was a new Doug. Hi, this is Tamika, Wisconsin Voices. Missed y'all. Oh, we got a caller already.
Oh man,
Man, we got a
they
caller.
are lighting up.
Let's see who the caller is. Caller, go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi.
And yes,
That was
ma'am.
quick.
Assalamu alaikum to you. Yes, ma'am. Have to be quick draw McGraw.
What's
Quick draw,
up?
McGraw. Yeah, that cartoon. Quick draw.
Go ahead. What's up?
This will probably be a carryover, and I apologize, not to cause any disruption or difficulties for anyone who may be impacted by what I'm about to say.
Wait a minute before you say it. Usually, when people have to give a disclaimer
About the
before
disclaimer.
they say
Mhm.
something, they know they probably shouldn't say it. But I'm just
Well,
gonna
it's
let
not
you
that.
go then.
Yes, ma'am. It's not. It's not nothing that is diabolical. What it is to provide more perspective about an occurrence that has happened in the area. Because I live in the area, and I've lived in the area for a while, or my family has had property in the area. I should say it that way, because I've lived in a different place, and before I came to where I am, and this is concerning the situation that took place at that store on Keith, and I think they call it it's MLK.
Mhm.
But we stayed at a house. It no longer exists on Fifth and Julia. It was 3772 North Julia, and it's an open field now. The house was destroyed or torn down for whatever reasons. But anyway, we would go to there's two stores that the black people would probably frequent. There's a black store that is on MLK, and I think that's Concordia. And then it used to be called Post, and now it's called Action. But what I'm saying, let me get straight to the point. The person that was killed, um, people would go there simply because of convenience. And the person that was killed, the reason it happened on the weekend is because he was the person that his brother would allow to be there on the weekend. For the most part, the older brother who was on the television would be there throughout the week and during the day. And that's when most of everything would go correctly. But on the weekend, and the brother that was murdered, he would be there on the weekend and throughout the whole day, or however it would go for the most part. But I know for certain that I encountered him on the weekend, and he was very disrespectful to black women, and people will have to go other places. And I do have the means to go other places. And my experience started with him during COVID, and after COVID, or before COVID ended, I stopped going there because I do have the means to do other things. But some of our people don't have that ability. And that guy that was killed, and my condolences again, he was not very, very accommodating or appreciative to the black people who had no other way or no other place probably to go in that immediate area, because there are not a lot of places. There's the Walmart, but that's on Capitol, and that place is off of Keith. And again, the guy that was killed, and I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna be probably the most controversial thing that I can say. The brother, the older brother who was crying on TV, he showed me a gun that had a brown, like a beige handle, and it had like a big clip or something like that, and he offered to sell it to me for like $800. And when he did that, and this is the same gun that his brother pointed at me behind the counter as I was trying to use cryptocurrency, because when I used my cryptocurrency with the tap, and we didn't tap correctly, and it was like 8:45. The guy who got killed, he was highly upset because I think I was interrupting him, and I was trying to buy something, and I had apologized for coming in at the last minute, and I left on the grill some stuff, barbecuing. I was doing something for me and my brother, and all of this. All in all, the dude put a gun on me, pointed at me, and people talking about I'm trying to give somebody a pass. What I'm trying to say is that dude who got killed, he wasn't nice to black people every time he was there, and it was usually on the weekend. He wasn't there on a daily basis, and his brother tried to sell me a Call of Duty weapon or assault rifle, and I will tell them both to their face, or whoever thinks that I'm lying, and I'm not trying to give no pass to nobody, but that brother shouldn't be given or dropped into the pits of hell because people don't know how that dude interacted with black people on the basis every time he was there, and it was usually on the weekend. And I'm a scientist. There are no coincidental occurrences. How is it that he got killed on Saturday? Because he works there on Saturdays.
But here's the thing, and I
Your contention.
I really feel for your experience that you had.
I'm all right.
No.
I told him,
but I understand.
Can I tell you what I said to him? I said that you want me to be the guy that will cause you the situation that will compromise both of our existence. But you will meet the person that is going to challenge you the way that you came to me. That's what I told him.
But here's the thing.
And any and everyone can take it how they want to, but I don't think that brother should go to jail or hell forever because that guy was not a nice person to black people on the weekend when he was murdered.
Thank you.
By the black man that he was disrespectful to.
Thank you. Here's the thing. Everybody has their opinion, but the one thing that I will never, that man may have been a horrible person. He could have been the devil incarnated. But the point is, he's dead.
Exactly. And I was going to say this.
This is Jermaine, y'all.
Yeah, this is Jermaine Rhino talking. Listen, being mean, being racist, whatever, is not a death sentence. It shouldn't be a death sentence. Now, if that young man did that, and I'm not saying Chris is lying, but whatever, but you still don't kill a person over a pizza. You don't kill a person because they was cooking your food without gloves. You have a conversation. You say, hey, I don't want this pizza. I'm not paying for that. Give me another one. Because then you can at least get another pizza another day. Now you will never get a pizza because you in jail and you facing 75 years for killing a man because he touched your pizza with his bare hands.
I always say this, and I wish people would think about. I mean, it's just people think about it that everybody has a bad day. Mm-hmm. Every single person has a bad day. I mean, how many times have I fired you, Brian?
About 5 or 6 a month. Yeah. 5 or 6 times a month, actually.
Right. See, I'm like, Brian, you fired. But here's the thing. But regardless of that, we have to start, no matter who it is, we have to start valuing human life.
Yes. 100%.
We're not valuing human life whatsoever. And we trying to tell these kids, and you know what? I came back on the show. I was going to be like happy. We was going to talk about some good stuff, but I have to say this. Yeah. We do stuff. Yeah. And I'm just saying in general, we know what the consequences of it is. Thank you. Sometimes people get away with what they're doing. But this man, is going to jail
Broad daylight murder, right? Broad daylight,
Yeah.
cold blooded
for
murder.
murder.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
For
He did it
what?
afternoon.
A
All because
pizza.
this guy touched his piece.
Without
And I'm
no gloves.
glad. I want to say this to you. I'm glad that you're actually talking about it because I know this show is based on voting and things like that. It's a great show, great
We're
information.
civic engagement,
But-
though.
I love how you tapped into it because we as people, we got to stop making excuses. I don't care if you purple, blue, yellow, whatever.
Mhm.
If you committed crime, you should go to jail.
Mhm.
Regard, I don't care if you my mama.
Hmm.
If you go kill somebody and there's no justification for it, obviously he knew it was no justification because after he did what he did, he ran.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna run from something that you know is a justification for.
And look how quick you got picked up. Everybody knew who you was.
Like, man, come on,
You know how
man.
them hood corner stores,
So-
everybody know everybody.
Well, but
kinda
this is
fashion
what I'm
stuff.
trying to say. Like, I went to jail once, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, I went to jail once, and I went to jail this was right before I turned 21. I went to a club that night. I didn't even drink. I just snuck in a club, and I was driving home, and my plates were bad. And I actually didn't have a driver's license at the time, too. So they took me in, even though they should have just gave me a ticket. They took me into the bullpen.
Mhm.
And I'm 20 and I'm in my club outfit. And I don't know if you know my club, I had heels on and stuff. This was a phenomenon. But I went there. I went there and
Yeah, I
I
see
was
the
like,
pictures.
okay, I'm gonna be cool. This is just the regular
Yeah.
jail bullpen.
Hold it, yeah.
So
Mhm.
I was like sitting there and there were so many different people in there. And I'm telling you this story for a reason. So there was one lady, it was a woman who she couldn't hear. She was deaf. And she was having all kind of issues there. I don't know what she was doing there, but she was having all kind of issues there. There was one loudmouth lady that was asking everybody what they came in. What you in here for? What you in here for? And I remember at some point my temper got to me and I was like, what are you in here for? And she was like, oh, some minor traffic violation. And I said, yeah, and they had me here for 5 or 6 days. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm in here for a minor traffic violation. It is Friday. It's like 8 or 9 o'clock and they didn't call me. But what happened is ended up that lady wasn't a minor traffic violation. She tried to run over an officer and it was a high speed chase and some other stuff. But that day, I decided I'm never going back. I was okay until about 1:45 because it was calling for the next people, and you don't get called at 2 o'clock. You stay back then. You stayed for the weekend.
You stayed till Monday.
I was like, wait a minute. When they called, I was the last name they called, and I said I will never go back again.
Yeah.
Now I will. I'm not saying I don't speed. Sometimes I don't say we do stuff because we just do it.
Right.
But one thing I'm
Light
not
minor
going to
offenses.
do
I'm not gonna murder nobody.
is do anything that's going to put me in jail.
for more than 2
Period.
days.
Not even 2 days. I'm not going. And people say, oh, I do it for my daughter. I tell Jada, I'm not taking a case for you. I decided in myself that I do not want to go to jail. And then people don't understand now. They don't understand. They understand the consequences and want to do it and then want us to feel sorry for them afterwards. There are people who are getting charged around here that shouldn't be charged. And we're not fighting for them. But then there's people who actually do the dirt like this man did. And then all of a sudden, we want to make excuses for that. I don't care how rude that man was. You know what you do? You walk out.
away.
Nobody
Walk away.
deserves death.
Here's the
Not for
other
that.
thing. Community can band together. If you don't, and do a campaign together with the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
I know we need stuff. I know we have places that we need to go, and I know this is the closest store.
Yeah.
Maybe we can help them. Do you need me to take you to Walgreens?
Right.
Let's make this official. So if your dollars count more than anything else. So you know what? If you're not spending the dollars, how can you stay open?
That part. Yeah.
We have a caller. Go ahead. Caller, go ahead.
It's scary. They think that you can go in the store with your gun in the first place.
Right. Thank you.
So So that being said, sometimes you have that boiling point where somebody can bore you to the fact. There's a lot of people out here walking around with extended clips on their guns. Now, some of them I know don't have carry and conceal.
Right.
They walk around here with these guns in their waistband, in their pocket, walking down the street from
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gonna challenge it though.
right. And the sad part about it is, why did we have to start living that way?
I
Because of fear. We all have fear in us.
it's
We
the
all have a boiling point where we do things that we regret when it's over, and we have to face those consequences.
but
It creates an issue. Go ahead.
but that's the key. Like, you know, people do stuff sometimes out of survival. I know people steal food and stuff and out of survival. They don't have no food, they're gonna try to steal it. But this stuff, this senseless, I mean, and you know, you're not supposed to do it. I get it. I'm not condoning anything like that. But the senselessness of you, he touched your pizza wrong. I would rather him cuss his butt out
Man, don't even
and
buy
walk
the pizza.
out the
Don't
door.
even buy the pizza.
I mean, you can verbally say, you know,
I don't
"Look,
like that, man.
yeah, forget that and
Yeah.
leave."
And leave.
But you gonna pull a gun out? I don't care how. And I understand that the previous caller may have had trauma with this guy, so he might feel a certain way, and I get that. I do. But there's no justification ever if you are not being bodily harmed, somebody, you know, hurting you, hurting your loved one, and you trying to save a life, that you take a life, especially over a pizza.
Well, I'm sure there's a sign on the door. It's a sign
is.
on the door that says no weapon into the store. So
But
you
that's
don't even
just-
supposed to
Yeah,
have
but
your
it sounds
weapons
like
in
they-
here.
Who's that going
It
to stop?
sounds like
Right.
they have one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sign. You know, people don't read signs all the
Exactly.
time. They're
Exactly.
going to walk in without. I think one point that I wanted to make was, you know, Jermaine, you brought up that, you know, he ran initially,
Right.
and I'm thinking that was just that was a person that lost control of their emotions
Yeah.
for literally a couple seconds, and
Yeah.
it's now going to cost them the rest of their life.
75 years.
And how many interactions have they had besides
and-
that?
Right. Because I'm sure that wasn't his first time going to the store.
Because this probably go back a long time. Yeah. Because you
Well,
see,
then,
we've been to them corner
you know the
stores.
sad part about that is, if that man had kids
Yeah.
on both sides,
Yeah.
Yep.
disappointing.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing that we have to live in a neighborhood where the people treat you like nothing when you go in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
You should want to welcome your people that's coming spending money with you to keep your business open and running. So, you know, when you get a person to the boiling point, because apparently he was at his boiling point.
You know, thank you,
And-
caller. I really
Appreciate
thank
that.
you. You know what? We have, you know, so many issues that we have to deal with. We want to teach these kids, we want to teach, you know, these young adults that their lives matter,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not being examples. When we come back, we're gonna take a little quick break. We're gonna talk to a man who has done a lot of work to try to stop the violence, save kids, and we're gonna talk about what he getting into.
And feed them.
And his name is, I'm not telling y'all gotta wait until we come back. This is WNOV, Be a Voice, Wisconsin Voices, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. like that. You know, ain't it? It's kind of. Oh, he had to.
We don't always make it to that part
Yeah.
of the song. Yeah.
Right. Here's the thing. Y'all, why y'all got me up in here? I ain't been on for what 2-3 weeks, and y'all got me on controversial issues.
Mhm.
I came here to talk about a couple of events that's going on this weekend. One tonight, and I have our esteemed, beautiful soul, community leader, founder of Cage. No.
Yeah,
Oh.
it sounded good.
Oh, okay. Andre, the man, Lee Ellis. Hello, sir. How are you?
Correction, though. I love it, but God is the man. I'm just a part of the plan.
Mhm.
I don't want to take too much on. I don't. I'm
We're
appointed.
going to give you that anyway.
I'm appointed,
Yeah.
anointed, but I'm not the anointed.
I didn't say you were anointed, but have you ever thought about you are a product of him? So,
You're exactly right,
So?
Tamika. I know how to get you.
yeah.
You're right.
How are you?
I'm phenomenal, actually.
You
Today, I'm
looking
feeling-
good.
Well,
That
not yet.
skin look good.
I'm gonna look good tonight, though.
Oh,
when you
it's-
all come to the event to hear the young people speak, I'm gonna look very good.
So we are helping sponsor an event. It's the Power of Youth and Youth Adult Voices, and it's tonight at the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce, and it is on 2900. See, this is why you're supposed to turn your phone on silent. It's 2900 West Valete Street. This is a Get Out the Vote event, and you are I think, are you moderating? You're the moderator.
I'm the host, moderator. Yeah, I'll be the person leading the
The
discussion.
leader, the man. Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, great.
Well,
First of all, say thank you to Wisconsin Voices for their inclusion and sponsorship, and as part of this event, and all that you all are doing in our great city to give people the information and how and the need for voting. No matter how controversial it is, Wisconsin Voices seem to be a part of the mending part of it and helping people understand. So thank you for that. So tonight, we are the goal of the program is to find out what are the needs of our Gen Z and millennials. How can we help them today and beyond to be successful? The event will provide a platform for intergenerational dialogue and underscore that there is direct correlation between their community's success, needs, and participating in civic engagement process, voting, etc. Great program set up for you. There's a diverse group of young people and adults that will share their lived experiences and entrepreneurship journeys, focusing on successes and challenges. There, I read it.
He read it, but we let her. So some of the guests will be we're gonna start with the powerful and amazing Mr. Brian Sanders of Wisconsin Voices.
Yes, I was told that this morning.
I just got my text from Ron. I put you on the panel. So
so he's gonna
Thank
be on
you.
the panel with
appreciate that.
with there's a few people. Dr. Daryl Williams, he's the Assistant State Superintendent of Public Instruction. We have Pastor Jason Anthony McNeil, Amazing Grace Church. We have Sakura Fear, and she's the Director and Program of Partnerships of LISSC, Milwaukee. Alderman DeAndre Jackson. He's part of the 7th District. Brandon Wilford, a Citizen Action community organizer. Martin Halgador, he's an educator and a community activist.
I think that's Marty.
That's Marty, yeah.
Yeah, Marty, not Martin.
Oh, I thought it said Marty.
No, that's Marty. He's
We
well
know.
known for that work.
I don't know. We know him. He was on. He's been on our show before.
Hagedorn?
When he ran.
And some of the young people that are going to be there, I know for sure, is Perryon Warren. He's an educator, North Division High School, and then Andron Q. Lane, Senior. Andron done elongated his name.
You better leave Andron
He's
alone.
elongated.
Andron.
Q. Lane Senior.
That's
he's,
how we get introduced now.
Yeah, Andron is he has
Andron
always
Senior.
been a part of Wisconsin Voices, and even though he works somewhere else, he always steps in, especially when we talking
Pop up and support.
when we talking about like trying to keep young people out of jail, out of trouble. And he has a story. Y'all should come out I hope he tells his story, because his story is
we'll make sure that he does.
Compelling. And and he talks about his journey with crime and going into the prison system, and then his celebration a couple months ago when he was completely done with everything, and he was like, it's been like 20 years or 20 something years that I have not either been on paper or in trouble or waiting for a trial or something. But he is such a compelling speaker for the young people. So come hang out and listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, I think he's going to be voting for the first time, a long time this time. And then Talia Lewis is 17 years old. She's a community advocate and entrepreneur. And then Tyler Lewis is a 14-year-old young man who I hear is just phenomenal to listen to, owner, founder of TP Productions. And Deja Branch is a community advocate and creator. And then Ayana Boyd, a dancer and entrepreneur. And you already mentioned Brian Sanders.
That was the first one. You gotta give props to the WV
but my
family.
sidekick is going to be a young man that everybody met last week here on WNOV. His name is Khalil Ahmed. He's a 13-year-old boy that attends Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School, and he's just a phenomenal young man that's restoring himself. When you talk about restorative justice and all of the best ways, he is going to be great for the conversation tonight.
Nice.
The conversation is it's focusing on why should these young people vote. They're going to talk a little bit about the the cost of living, because some of them don't even understand the cost of living or why is it important to them. The access to business capital and business dollars, the community development around what's going on in your city, because some of them are they're 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old. They don't know what the city looked like. I know what the city looked like. I'm 53. I remember when it was gorgeous before, especially before their crack epidemic. And you go down it was 3rd Street back then. You could go shop, and it was a plethora of Black businesses. Even my own cousins own stores over off of, not on 9th and Ring, but she was on Ring.
Brown Ring.
Yeah, but
Ring.
She had a little corner store. And that was my first job, was being at the corner store for my cousin. They're going to talk about social justice and equity. And this says equality, but I really rather use the word equity, because equality means y'all all equal. Equity really means that we are getting what we need so we can be equal.
Some stake in it.
So put some stake in it. That's exactly.
And let me also say this, Tamika. Another good thing about what's supposed to happen tonight is that for those young people that are under 18 that cannot vote, they can tell us why we need to vote in their favor, or things that they would like to see happening. That happened when we brought little Khalil here, Jermaine. Will remember that, and we asked him that question of why should adults go and vote for you, or what do you think they should be looking for in the voting? I think oftentimes we leave the babies out. I think that even you'd be surprised what a 2 or 3-year-old might could tell you. You look at the TV and say, "Isn't that Kamala?" So that means that they're paying attention. Not that they have much to say, but the 15, 16, 14-year-olds, they're going to be voting in 2-3 years, and so we should be setting forums and platforms for them to come and speak on, so we can get ready.
Love it. Laying the foundation for the future generation.
There was I went to a convention in New Jersey, and there was something that this woman said, and I don't know if I said it on the radio, but she was talking about, everybody talks about why we do this. why we do this? Why do we even, get out of the beds, try to get these radio shows so we can talk about civic engagement? Why do we want people to vote? And she said, majority of the time it's like, so there's a better life for my babies, there's a better life for my grandbabies. It's always, future generations. But then she says somebody told her she had to step back and say, and I'm doing it for my ancestors. And what she mean by that is, remember, that's probably the reason why they were doing it, for their grandkids and their great grandkids and future. So they already did it for her. She's paying it forward, but also paying homage to the people that came before her. And I'm not talking about like, the civil rights movement, just those people who actually went and voted. Those people who couldn't participate in a bigger scale like they wanted to, but just had to walk down.
Those people that wanted to before we could vote.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember, and I will never forget, our congressperson was Jim Moody over here. And every 2 years, I would see Jim Moody. And I was like, and I remember saying, "Ma, that white man back." And I literally remember him coming every 2 years. Because it wasn't many, Jermaine, where we lived, there wasn't that many white people walking down the street, but he would knock on the door. He would politely talk about something. And she built this in me. And the one other thing, I was like, I don't know how it gets built into your kids. I drag Jada everywhere. But before that, when Barack Obama was running his first race and Joe Biden was in it, she didn't want to hear anything about Barack Obama. The only time she got up and she was like, "Joe Biden!" And she was 3 or 4 or something like that. And she would be like, "Joe Biden!" And I'm like, no, Ma, Joe Biden. And she saw something in Joe Biden that she liked. But she watched it and then she was like, "Ma, Joe Biden in that? No, he gone. Okay, I like him." But they feel something. Sometimes they can just look at people. How kids can look at you.
Yep, I do. About Tamika too. Yeah, I mean, I hear you and you laying it in there. But for me, it's sort of like a rites of passage sort of moment.
That's how I feel.
When we get to work with the young people, and everybody thinks that rites of passage always have to be an 8-week long program, but it just could be a moment in time that you spent with the gray haired old man.
Yeah, I spent some time with some youth. Excuse me for cutting you off, but this a
cut
few
me
weeks
off.
ago, because while my mind was on that, when you saw the 13, 14, 15-year-olds, we was talking about how I spoke at the church a few weeks ago at Ascension on Hampton, when we were doing the votercade and all that, and just prepping them to understand like how important their vote is, and just understand. I told them to start looking at and researching certain words. If you know a certain topic, a conversation going on, and you just need clarity on it, all you gotta do now is just press it, go to web search, just to make sure that they understand the importance of knowing about the civics. Because I felt like, when I was in school back then, they pushed it, and I know we talk about it all the time, how Tamika feels like, and we all do feel like it's not pushed properly in certain school districts. So like you said, I think it's important to start there. Like you said, they want to spend some time with us and really talk to us about it.
Our children want to know, why aren't there more arts programs in the schools in their neighborhood, in their community? Why they don't have, their sports teams don't have great uniforms and marketing for their show, their games and things like that. Our children want to know why home economics is not in the schools anymore, and why they just only have to come to school to be told what to do by a teacher and not much else. And their Black history isn't even to the degree that we would like it to be taught to them. So this is a chance for you young people that are going to come with your parents, or however you're going to come and you make your voices known. This is truly a Wisconsin Voices moment. And this is where we get to see Wisconsin Voices shine. And that's what it's all about, Wisconsin Voices, right, Tamika?
No, actually, we're just sponsoring.
But it's not about Wisconsin Voices?
Milwaukee Youth for Peace has been doing this great work.
Yeah.
And that's one of our partners.
I got you. I hear you now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
it's about Wisconsin Voices.
Yeah, I do.
And we sponsor stuff, but we sponsor stuff to help, but we really want to push the 501c3s that are putting it together. Shout out to Rhonda.
Yes.
She's been driving us crazy trying to put this together. I mean, she had questions.
10 calls today since midnight.
Oh, you got some? Okay, I ain't getting Wait, let me see.
But what would we do without her?
Right.
I
I'm
just
gonna
got my
see, did I
first
get
text
it?
throughout it, so I guess she ain't need me this much this
You-
time.
But that's what I'm saying. She is so passionate about what she does. She gonna cross all the T's, dot all the I's.
Yeah.
You know, make sure as much as she possibly can, make sure that things are going as smoothly as they possibly can.
When I
Is
said
there-
Wisconsin Voices,
I know
what
you mean.
I've been all across the state, we need people to vote in favor of what is right. The right
I
thing to do.
understand that, but
She was trying to put it back on the organization.
I'm putting
And I
it back
understood
on
both of
the
y'all was-
organization
Yeah.
because because
They don't-
recently I got a letter,
Oh no.
an email, and it
Emails.
was about one of the candidates
Mm.
put Wisconsin Voices on their
Literature.
commercial.
Or commercial.
Oh.
And it
Wow.
was just a flash real quick, and it said Wisconsin Voices, and we got an email and a couple calls and some other stuff. Why are you supporting it? We do not support any candidates. So I had to send a cease and desist letter, to try to do that, because we don't support but it and I know our name is
Nice.
night. I mean, it talks about what we really want to do, but sometimes it gets us in trouble. That's why I was like, no, we talking about Wisconsin.
Mhm.
Well, I
Where
get
the
you.
how about the
Wisconsin
voices of
Voices.
Wisconsinites?
Right,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that better.
because that's what we are. But I want to go back to you, because I know
you all were
this
in the,
is
you all
not-
were in the same meeting because you all said it at the same time. The voices of Wisconsin.
we are Wisconsin Voices, though. But let's go back to, you've been doing this work with the young people for, let's see, I came in the game in 2011, 2012. You were doing it way before then.
I was born in 1960. I'm 64 years old. I started working in theater in around 1978.
You see?
1970, a little bit. I'm not going to sing today,
Oh, okay.
but 1978. And then from there, at that point, I got into community advocacy and working in the community and the rights of us in our community, because as I studied theater, I got to study history. And as I played different characters, I had to study the emotional content of it, and sometimes it made me cry, and I had to ask why. So I had to go and do the research to understand it in order to help the audience understand why they were crying at the moment that I made them feel that way. So I started working in the community, Commandos,
Mhm.
Northcott Neighborhood House, Project Respect, and a lot of and I'm forgetting somebody. Al Holmes was a very big influence
Mr.
in my
Holmes.
life. Mr. Holmes, who I
Yeah.
call my community pop, and I'm saying that because he might be listening.
Shout out to Mr.
Yeah,
Holmes.
he might be listening. He will call in and tell me, Andre, I don't know why you got on the radio and lost your mind. But I didn't, Pops. I did. I swear. Ben Johnson was who was one of our first acting mayor. He had a chance to do that one time when the mayor couldn't be present. But Ben Johnson gave me my first job with the Journal Sentinel. Things like that. But we did all kind of community work like that, and it was important because I learned firsthand what it was to be a Black boy in this city, and how I had to hold my peace, bite my tongue, and don't bring my peace.
Good point. And it seems like I know there's people out there who want to help, who want to volunteer, but it's so much red tape to deal with certain things. They don't know where to go, or they don't know what organizations. That's why, Wisconsin Voices we're doing voter engagement and voter education this year, because this is an election year.
Mhm.
We switch up next year. And our next year is all about trying to connect people throughout the community. It's all community based. We're going to do our Take Back MKE and our gun violence program. We're going to be pushing more and more civic 101 classes. We're going to be doing this. Why? Because that's the time to really connect with the community, so we know what our issues are. This is a legislative time too.
Mhm.
Joe,
Yep.
what you got? Joe's got a lot of stuff.
Joe's been busy. Joe's been busy with not only with the election, but like we was talking earlier today, talking about plans after the election and what we're going to do and the issues that we want to tackle as an organization
with our partners.
with our partners, and yeah, definitely with our partners, and finding out what the needs of the community are, and taking those to Madison and making some real change.
And that's kind of what I've seen you do over the years. I've seen you go and advocate for different things at the state level, city level, county level, just doing your part. And like you said, you were an actor, you did other stuff, and you just kind of accidentally fell in. I mean, not accident, but you know what I mean.
I just don't like to see people mistreated. And when I see someone mistreated, I got to say something. And I ain't afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living wrong. You know, and so when I see people being mistreated, I have to come forward cautiously, of course, because I have people I'm accountable to. But more importantly, I want to go back on something that you say. We live in such silo-oriented working place here, and I think we need to have a more hub mentality. We seem to think that when it's a hub, you got to have a whole lot of something. There's got to be something big. I say you can be a hub and just be willing and to provide and to be available and to leave the gate open so that people can come in. And so that's what it's about tonight, is giving the young people access and leading them, navigating them in their path to success as it relates to entrepreneurship, because I work with the young brothers out at the Val Phillips Juvenile Justice Center and other places, and many of them are upset because they're left out. There's a population of little black boys that we just don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? That we hear about them dying on the news and going through it, but how often do we get out and stop and talk to the boy with the hood on, with the mask on, and all black? We just assume that he's in trouble when they just may like that color. Most of us wear black when we want to dress up or anything like that. And so tonight, I'm glad that the young people, the young voices are going to be there with the elders and the other business people. And so they get to talk about their aspirations. They get to talk about their dreams. When Dr. King, he was young, I think, when he said, "I have a dream." I'm not sure how old he was, but he was young when he started into the movement. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. I think we should give light to that. You're never too young to win.
That's a fact.
That's right.
I believe that.
I ain't going to charge you for that one.
No, but
Or too old,
that
right?
goes right back to what we were talking about before, where, you know, we need to value ourselves. I don't think we value ourselves enough, because if we value ourselves, we're going to value the next person and then the next person. You know what? Do I want to be talked to that way? No. Am I going to want to take, we get upset and we get evil and we get mad. And then you have to step back and say, but when I'm mad, do I want somebody else taking it out on me when they mad? And there's ways, I mean, but there is we're gonna take a slight break. We're gonna finish some issues, but I just want to tell one more time what the event is, because we can't we want to make sure it is it's at the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce, 2900 West Fleet Street.
That's right.
This magnificent man, Andre Lee Ellis, will be there. You gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there, but more importantly, we want the magnificent people of Milwaukee and surrounding areas that want to come and come and get involved. Let me just ask you, bring your act right with you, too, because we ain't having nothing out of order. We'll have everything respectful, but you ain't gonna be out of order. I'm in charge there.
And then as we go to break, I'm gonna talk to you, because you said you don't like people feeling being mistreated. I'm gonna tell Brian he been treating me wrong all week.
Oh, not on
We'll
camera.
be right
Not
back.
on camera.
We're gonna protest
not on
in front
radio.
of his house.
We'll be right back. Be a voice with Wisconsin Voices. Okay, it is Friday, so remember we are having the event tonight, right?
Yeah, tonight.
One last thing, we have been talking about this event, and we talked about Wisconsin Voices and the Milwaukee Youth for Freedom, or for what's her organization? I just really lost it. Milwaukee Youth for Peace. Sorry, Rhonda. But we didn't talk about CAGE.
Mhm.
CAGE.
Community agricultural growing experiences, but we get talked about a lot, whether it's enough or not, we do. But what's good about this is that we service young people. And so the sons of Cage, they're all my sons, will be in the house. Some of them will be there. I did mention little Khalil was going to be my sidekick with me, and just excited. But we're a community garden located on 1313 West Reservoir, right next to Firehouse 5, and we grow food for free that the people can come and eat. We do hydroponics inside the firehouses. And on October 30th, Ms. Yukovich, we are excited that we're going to be doing fresh food demonstrations in the lobby at the Aurora Sinai Samaritan Hospital right there on 12th
Say that
and State.
again, please. So
That-
they know.
Wait, no, it's kind of, I spoke too fast.
Okay,
but we are going to be doing fresh food demonstrations in the lobby of the Aurora Sinai Samaritan Hospital about how to eat better, and it's my goal. It's my goal. I know we have Quest and all of these other programs, but I wish that hospitals had access to fresh food, that they could give prescriptions to patients so that they could get it, because one time a month is not enough.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cage.
That's CAGE. All right, we're going to talk about that. Is an event that's happening tonight. There's another event, and I want to push it because after all this that we have gone through and we have done, we're going to need some gospel in our lives, and
hallelujah.
lift every voice and vote. Gospel concert is February. Look at me, I'm trying to jump. November 1st, Friday, November 1st, the Union Hill Baptist Church, 2190 North 49th Street in Milwaukee. This is being presented by NAACP, and I think State Representative Lakeisha Myers.
He's on that program.
You gonna be singing, or just? Did you need the cowbells?
Singing.
I've been practicing, dude. I've been practicing. I've been.
Devo need to be on that program too.
That's for the praise and worship part.
Devo need to be on that program too.
Oh, I got it. I love the fact that WNOV has always been a real supporter of ours. All these partners have humbled Wisconsin Voices to lift us up. And what we are going to do is keep trying to lift all of our partners up. And if you are not a partner of ours, that's okay. You can be. We always looking. And
glad to hear that.
when we come around, we are trying to, what our goal is not to have a big table coalition. That's not really our goal. We want a bunch of partners, but what we want to do is find in our partnership like-minded partners, 2, 3, 4 of them, to work together. So if you working on, agriculture, do we got 4 or 5 of those organizations that's working on what can we help them do together? Maybe we are just a facilitator, and then they bounce. Are you working on mental health stuff? Let's get 3 or 4 of those people together and let them do it. This is how Wisconsin Voices grows, by putting all the organizations that are maybe siloed. How do we get them together? And then bringing it all together into one big, happy best practices for the community.
Whatever helps. Because I was talking to somebody last night through an organization that I want to partner with Wisconsin Voices, because they do really professional events for the Gen Zs and the younger millennials, Social X. And I was telling them, I was like, my biggest thing and one of my legacies I'm gonna leave for Milwaukee is that I'm gonna help bring down the silos here and bring more people out in our community and the BIPOC Black community in the northwest side and south side, of course, but make sure over here on this side that we continuously, helping each other out.
And to stop that north side, south side stuff, we want the south side people to come here. We want north side people to come here.
blend.
Yeah.
and not be as segregated, because
It makes us more
those
powerful.
all those dollars are coming back to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All those and they're in our communities.
And to make it just
Word.
before I go, and that'll be my last statement. I'd be remiss if I didn't say it's kind of a shameless plug, but Giving Tuesday is coming up in November, and I would like everybody to get it in their mind that when you give to WNOV, you can assist WNOV with bringing these great programs more. Now you can see the increase in advertisement. More listeners are listening. It's advantageous to whatever you're doing to get involved with WNOV and just get a little airtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. for
Yeah,
sure.
but then we also gonna push Wisconsin Voices, which is a
Donate.
501c3, and
Yeah.
they are tax. You can write it off on your taxes.
Donate
Thank
to
you
Wisconsin
so
Voices.
much. We will be back on Monday.
Love you.
Get better, Latoya.
See you
Happy
tonight.
Friday.
All right, happy Friday.